Okay, Jess, welcome. Let's start in Sukhasana, easy pose. Just have your legs crossed in front of you, just in a way that you feel comfortable. And we can start with a few exercise, focus on the breathing. We breathe in and out through the nose, and we try to keep this awareness of the breathing. So my job is to remind us to keep breathing in a way that creates depth, creates presence. And this class will require a lot of presence. We're going to be attempting to go upside down, kind of poses that can somehow mix with parts of our selves that we try to stay away in yoga. So we're going to have this awareness of what we are doing, why we are doing, and above all, with safety. And we can dedicate the efforts of this class to something or someone. So bring a intention to your class this morning. And still with this very calm atmosphere in your body, start to squeeze your mula bandha, uddiyana bandha. So imagine that you need to go pee and you squeeze this pelvic area. Squeeze as much as you can. Shoulders down, lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And relax. Okay, we're going to do a few shoulders roll. So let's roll the shoulders. Just rolling without much instructions. And then after 3 normal rollings, we're going to do this rolling back with the shoulders in 3 parts. So now we send the shoulders down as much as we can. We feel the shoulders going down, and then we send forward, just to be with our shoulder mobility, to take a note, mental note of it. And then up and back. And then let's try to reverse the movement. So close the shoulder blades, send the shoulders up and forward and down. 2 more times in this order. So forward, up, back, and down. And then up, forward, down, and back. And relax the shoulders a bit. Hold your right wrist with your left hand and a few rolls with your right wrist clockwise. And a few more rolls anti-clockwise. So one of the things that I notice on myself and in others, one of the problems with inversions is most of the teachers, they will, for good reasons, they will leave the inversions for very late in the practice. The good thing with that is that your body is warm. Keep like changing sides. The bad thing with that is that your body is fatigued. So fatigue will go against. At the beginning of inversions, we need to be full of energy. So we're doing this with our wrists. Let's change sides. We're doing this with our wrists because we start with the hardest, which is the handstand, and then we progress to forearm stand. And then we go to the one that's considered the easiest in this equation, the headstand, to see if we can relax. Okay, so we're gonna roll forward and come into a cat and cow pose. If you have a wall behind you, if you have a wall in front of you, that will be useful. But if you're actively working towards not having a wall, then just be very careful once we start to hop up. So let's press the floor away from us and open the shoulder blades. Make a rainbow shape across our shoulder blades, and then engage the muscles on the belly. Ula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and then we drop down the belly. We look up, and we try to do a intense movement of cat and cow. It's the intense stretch as we look up, and intense opening of the shoulder blades as we drop the head down. And we try to observe what happened to the arms, what happened to the shape of our elbows, if they slightly roll in and back. And that is really what it is. It's just a observation task. And this awareness of what your body do, this will help us finding the balance. And let's take keep doing this movement, but let's take the knees away from the floor and see if we can maintain the observation of the breath and the observation of the arms. And now we expand our awareness to our fingers. So press different parts of the mat with your fingers, like you have this piano inside your hand, below your hand. And here we're gonna notice also that we have sometimes we overuse parts of our hands and underuse other parts. Knees down. Let's go into a down dog. And we stay here for about 5 to 8 breaths. We close the shoulder blades, and we can aim to send the soles of the feet down to touch the floor. Hips up high. Make your arms as straight as you can. The crown of your head is going towards the floor. At the same time that your shoulder blades is away from your ears and closing behind your back. Lift your kneecap. Take a look at your toes and see if they are pointing in towards each other, but not out. In some dogs, we get the legs a little bit too much wider than the hips, so try to make the same, roughly the same distance as your hips, but not together. Let's send the knees down. Cat and cow. Push the floor away from you, shoulder blades open. Engage the glutes, engage the legs in the thighs. Belly, look up. Open the chest in your own time. Okay. Let's sit on our hips, on our sole of the feet. A few more rows. And we're gonna go straight on it. So if you need to get a wall, go ahead and get a wall. You see, sometimes if you move all the arms, we're gonna get a bit confused as well in upside down. So let's try to move with the wrists only. And let's come forward, hands down. Pay attention where the hands are. We're gonna start into a three-legged dog with the right leg going up towards the ceiling. We're gonna come forward towards our hands, so keep pointing the right foot. We come forward and we look towards the hands. So the sole of the left foot is gonna come off the floor, and we're gonna try to tap the left foot on our right inner thigh. So it's gonna be a bit like, and while we do this, we try to keep the inner thigh as straight as we can. So a lot of attention to the body and tap. And again, we do this 10 times. So 1 and 2. We don't have to hold, but you can hold if you find the balance. Take breaks between your hops. 3. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Straight right leg, very good. And then we try to tap left foot on right inner thigh. 4, 5, 6, 2 more for me. Okay. Right, let's take a rest before we go to the left side. So rest for the arms mean work for the core. So we can come into Navasana. Pointing the toes, chest is up, and let's extend the legs. This music is far too calm for what we are doing. Extend your legs. Connect with your breathing. Okay, and let's lie down flat on the back as slow as we can. Connect with the activating the abdominal area, abdominal walls. And you're gonna lift the legs up towards the ceiling 3 times. So engage your legs, bring your legs up. Legs down. Shoulders are resting on the floor. Glutes are squeezed. Arms can be squeezed. 2. Deliberately, slowly. Point the toes. Lift your legs up. Keep your legs up. 5 deep breaths. Engage your legs as much as you can. Roll in your thighs. So the face is soft. And with the legs up, we try to keep the legs as much as we can, the height of the legs, and then we send the chest away from the floor towards our legs, and we use the core to balance into Navasana. We cross the legs and we roll forward, left side, so down dog. And from down dog, with this mic, from down dog, we're gonna lift to the left leg up. We're gonna look towards the hands, and we're gonna lift the left leg towards the ceiling. 3-legged dog, and hop. So right leg tap, left thigh. One, straight elbows. 2, beautiful. There we go. Attention to the arms, attention to the shoulders. Wonderful. Okay, keep your legs a little bit, like that's the thing. I keep reminding us, is I'm reminding to myself as well, to keep the arms straight and to relax the shoulders. Just because a body left unattended would just fall back very quickly into old habits. So it's strong left leg, strong right leg, and then left leg is so engaged, they can bend once it is up. So we follow the instructions, but if the body is insisting in something and we feel that is easier, we let that be too. Seven, 8, 2 more for me. And we come back into down dog. So we're going to return in a bit to handstands, but now we're going to give a rest to the hands, forearms down. And then we look towards the hands, the index fingers, they touch. We look towards the navel and we lift the right leg up. And we can hop, or we can stay here. When I hop into pincha, I like looking towards my fingers. So this gives me more balance. See what works for you. So if you want to hop, same thing. The left leg is going to tap in the right. We don't have to stay. So this is one of the techniques to open the shoulders, a quite active opening of the shoulders.
Yeah, I can't use the tool. I've never tried this one.
Right. Let's roll the shoulders back 3 times. And while you're rolling your shoulders, we did 10, 20. And now we're going to do both legs together. So we're going to remember the sensation that we had once we were doing the Navasana. And the hands are going to come down to the floor. We're going to go down dog. And then here the imagery is good to have the image of a balasana, so child's pose. So in the child's pose, we're going to try to do this shape, more or less, upside down. So straighten the legs, point your toes forward. We look towards the hands and we go gluing the thighs in the chest. 10 times. Once you're ready, strong arms, and then we remember. Good. One thing that normally happens is I don't know why at the beginning we keep this part of the body tilting. It's not terrible, but you're going to be a little bit too sensitive here. So as much as you can, try to keep your hips engage. Muda banda, Ujjana banda. Imagine we need to pee, and then hips up. Any shape that's easier for us to send the hips up. Right, for now, we count 10 drills and we pause in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one of the movements that it's mostly useful in a Vinyasa situation. Keep the knees soft. Strong arms. Engage the core of the muscles, the muscles on your core. And I'm getting a bit tired. You can go ahead if you want. You can take breaks or go ahead. Okay, I have 3 more to go. And this system is that will give us some a solid base. So like these numbers, okay, I'm gonna do 10 times. I'm gonna do an actively count, because after we can quantify our efforts and our progress. Six. As more we recover between drills, better the body will perform. So take long breaks, maybe use some visualization before you attempt to invert. Beautiful. Can you do one more and keep like the legs very close to your chest? Take a deep breath. It's hard. I won't be able to hear you because of this. Okay, sorry. We talk a little bit later. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Your hips are really up high. Your legs are closed. Do you feel quite strong when you go with your legs like this? More or less. Okay. Let's do one vinyasa and see if we can incorporate it. Normally it's quite hard when you do vinyasa. Try to incorporate the things that we just learned, but then eventually it comes. Hands up. Uttanasana, we fold over the legs. And from Uttanasana, we place the hands in a comfortable position. I like putting a little bit forward. And then mini head handstand. Hop. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog, strong arms. Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. After 5 breaths here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look between the hands and hop forward in just a mini handstand, just a mini hop. 5. Breathe in. Expand rib cage out. Breathe out and press the belly in. 3 more breaths as slowly as we can. Strong arms. Flatten the belly. And then we look between the hands and we step or hop forward. Extend the legs. Hold opposite elbows. Inhale and exhale here. And let's once more think about our intention so we can elevate our practice. It feels a bit like acrobatics, especially today, but still we have this very solid spiritual base of a practice that transcended time and space. Here we are in a Zoom class, but we remember that this started thousands of years ago as a spiritual way to attain divinity on earth. And slowly we put the hands down. We step right leg towards the back of the mat. Left leg follows. Let's do some side planks. It doesn't matter which side we start. And from side planks, we can start to just do some variations. So we're gonna do maybe 5 times each side, and then we see what we can do to get stronger arms and more balance. So more than work towards the strengthening the arms, let's work towards make this connection between muscles of the arm and awareness of the core. This is quite hard for me, but let's try to bring the knee up, pointing the toes, opening the chest, and having a soft expression in the face. Okay. This side plank never got never got easy for me. I don't know why. Okay, then if you want to take to the next level, plank, strong arms, and then aim to hold the right big toe, and then extend the leg towards the ceiling. Both legs are straight. Poses like this make me want to go back to handstand hard. Last time. Breathe in and out through your nose, trying to create that heat from within. So inhale through the nose. We'll hit the air before hit our lungs. So combining that with our efforts should be quite warm, literally right now. Okay. Knees down. Child's pose. 5 deep breaths in child's pose. With 5 deep breaths. Might take even a minute. Very long breathings. Very long sets of breaths. Okay, let's come up with our chest. And we're gonna go into Pincha Mayurasana. So right arm behind the back. And then use your left hand to keep sending your hand a little bit lower on your back, on your spine. Touch your spine. And then left hand comes towards the back. Strong shoulder opening. And it's somehow uncomfortable, but we don't want to feel anything too sharp on our knees. So right elbow is all the way up towards the ceiling, but then right shoulder is pulling down. 2 forces, one up, one down. And then if the head's coming a little bit down, we lift the head up, chest open. And we created this level, this shoulders level look. Just notice what happened to your tailbone. Mine always stick out, so bring it in. As we bring in the tailbone, pointing down the tailbone, we have more engagement, more support from our belly. Let's change sides. So this time, right elbow bend. We send the right knee down and back, the right elbow, now the right shoulder down and back, and the left elbow towards the ceiling. And then we bring the right hand to meet left if possible. And then we return attention to the tailbone, to the way we are breathing, to our facial expressions. And these details, they help a lot when we're putting a lot of effort in the practice. So to make a funny, hard face like that will create a neurofeedback that's going to make harder. So always soft face, it really, really helps to go into the complexity of these poses. And to hold a bit as well. A lot of us, we do active stretching in Vinyasa classes, very quick. We change poses. That's good for strength. Flexibility, we need to hold and be sat with the uncomfortable pose for minutes at a time. That's how we build flexibility. It's a mind's game too, boring a bit until it's not boring anymore. Okay, let's go with the forearms down. Noticing your shoulders. So the forearms will be very dependent on how open we are here. If you want to have a wall, go ahead. If you have a block, sometimes helps to hold the book in front of you. You don't need to, but some people it's really helpful to have a block and hold it. Engage the muscles on your belly. Weight of the body is on the forearms and the hands. Dolphin pose. So stay in the dolphin pose as much as you need to feel that your shoulders are opening, and press as well your fingers on the floor so you can feel that you're not only on your elbows. Because if you feel that only the elbows is taking the weight of the body, it's going to be easier to fall off the pose, to fall off the pose. And then we can just lift one leg up. After a couple of breaths in there, we can hop with the left leg. So some teachers, they don't like this hopping because they think the students are not using the muscles of the belly. But I just think it's super hard to go in this low mode to lift the legs away from the floor. So it's better to build first the balance, and then, or not first, simultaneously balance and strength. And we take rests in between. Gorgeous. Okay. A way to engage more with the belly is if we walk very close, and this is going to be very useful as well for our handstand in a moment. From here is harder to create balance than from here when you walk closer and closer, but it's so much more, it requires so much more flexibility. So walk your feet very close to your face. And you can change legs if you want. And walk forward. Jess, I'm getting fatigued as well, so it's really hard to hold. But I can see you go close to your wall. If it's comfortable for you, once you are in the wall. So first of all, we try not to go to the wall, of course, but then that's it because of safety. But once you were here, have one leg very straight, and then change. and see if we can hold in between. It's hard because you're getting a bit tired, but like if you want to do after exercise one leg after the other, and trying more the engagement from the legs because your arms are super engaged. Okay. Let's make another dedication and then we go to the final inversion, which is the headstand. So we can close our eyes or keep it open, and then the chin can come close to the chest. And we just use this moment of silence without any instructions. So let's just be in silence for a bit before we go into Shushasana, headstand. Okay, the first technique we're gonna use, we're gonna hold the opposite elbows and then you're gonna come forward. We're gonna interlace the hands together. It doesn't have to be a super grip, just a soft grip, firm but soft. Let's try to have the palms actually together as opposed to separate. So we close the palms of the hand. And then the crow of the head, it doesn't have like a super precise mathematical point in our head that should go to the floor. It's quite normal for the head, for our mind to start to shatter and say that we have the wrong part. So it's the middle, the crow of the head. There is no weight in the head. So one of the things with headstand is a very bad clue with the name. So it's not in the head only. Use your arms, activate your arms, press the palms of the hands together and the outsides of the hands on the floor. So this is very active on your arms. Let's think this more as a tripod stand rather than a headstand. And then hips come up and we walk the feet so close to our face, we actually project the hips back and we think almost we're gonna fall back. We're just getting light. So we lift the legs. This time not hopping, but this time is the part that is easier to actually lift the legs up using the core and the spine. If there is too much weight in the head, press the arms even more. So the back of your neck is long. If you wanna work, if you do Ashtanga, is quite a good idea to bring your legs parallel with the floor. Because in Ashtanga classes, sometimes they ask the student 10 times to have the legs parallel with the floor for 10 breaths, and then lift again and hold for another 10 breaths. So it's a skill depending of your school, the school of yoga you like the most. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale through your nose. And just letting the blood flow come all the way down towards your head, and using your spine to let the energy of your body flow freely. So once we have all these energetic points in our body in balance, there is very little we have to do in the outside world. There is less phone calls, less hard conversations. So create this balance from within you. That's beautiful. I'm gonna go back into mine. You seem very safe. Okay. I think one useful, because you hold this, you don't really need lessons on that, but it's nice practice it together. Um, have you tried the tripod? Okay, the tripod is a good one for you, and I think is much easier than the one you just did, but it's different for different people. I'll show you first. So there is one Vinyasa. There it goes. Like you place the hand down, crow the head down, and then you go with your hands behind your feet. And then they ask you to lift your feet away from the floor and back down. So that is actually a very is a good skill to have, and I think it's going to be very easy for you. So the tripod, and also other flows that you can come from crow, from here, and then head down. So this one, the actual tripod headstand is a good one for you. And you can hold opposite elbow again, and hands down, but then we take the forearms away from the floor, and then the head come down. Press the hands. Actually, don't. It's quite unnecessary to hold the opposite elbows down. Send your hands down towards the floor and activate your arms. Hips are up, and just try with one leg up, and then the other. Good. So use the arms, elbows in. You can rest. You can see. Oh, that's really good, because your body is already going. So I can see your, I think, left knee going on your left arm. Let's try something else. Let's come into crow pose. So get into the crow. Can you get in the crow? Good. And from there, head down. It's possible that you're gonna fail, but it's okay. I think you know how to. Even with the head, is a quite a normal thing to happen. So we learn how to fall. Bend more your elbows. So bend more the elbows so your face is a little bit closer to the floor. It's harder in the arms, but then there is less impact in case we do fall forward. Head down. Hold here for a bit. And just hold. And maybe if that's what we have to do today, it's good. But if from here you can start to send the hips up. Can stay here or lift. Yeah, normally, good question, because normally we have from crow, I do like bringing my knees to the armpit, but yeah, you have a strong arm, so the thing is, like, create this proximity of your face and the floor. Just send your head down safely. So you can bend. You see, there is a 90-degree angle on my arms. Okay. Let's do one more time headstand, and then we close the class for today. Okay, we take some breaks if you want to take a break. And well done. We can slowly start to come back. Oh, Jess, we have a few messages here. People who had the same problem as you, trying to get in the class, but they couldn't. Oh, well. Let's lie down, flatten our back for 2 minutes. We so we do one Shavasana together. Open your chest with every inhalation. Acknowledging all your efforts. Noticing how you feel. And how we feel can start from perceptions around the body temperature, about tension. And then we expand a little bit more in how we actually feel in relation to our emotions and our thoughts. Once you are at your home, there is no need of you to come out of the Shavasana. It doesn't have to start now. It doesn't have to stop now because of the Zoom meeting is over. But if you have any questions, just finish this recording.